My name is Harry, and I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Today is December 9, 2025. It is 3:27 a.m. Alright, so this video we're gonna cover Meghan father situation. So there might be part 1 and part 2, and this because I have a lot of tweets to share with you. Alright, so let's get started. Okay. Do you know how we know Thomas Markle has not changed? Because the first call he made, his alleged 6th, 7th deathbed illness, was to a Daily Mail reporter, a tabloid that lies on Meghan's daily, and one Meghan and Harry sued. Thomas only seek closeness to Meghan to sell her to the tabloid. Am I wrong? Imagine befriending your daughter's worst abusers and expecting her to have anything to do with you. What kind of a father does that? I'd question if this type of a father ever loved me at all, at any point in my life, because what the F is this? I've said this before. I don't have that video, but earlier on when I first started making videos about Meghan and Harry and things like that, one of the squad shared a video, a young Meghan, probably late teens, early 20s, with her friend in the car talking about her father. And it seems like there were signs that Meghan did not trust the father. The father was not reliable. So Meghan learned to navigate around that type of personality. I don't know. It's obvious. I think even GBNews were shading him for it. Whatever's on the screen, that's it. Most patterns, I think she meant parents. Most parents would be embarrassed for people to know their children don't speak to them. How drastic does it have to be for your kids to cut you off? These people aren't normal. You nailed it. I'm dying at the 6th and 7th deathbed illness. There's the life here. He obviously has more lives than any alley cat. Alright, let's go to the next tweet. Some of these tweets were before we know what Meghan did. By now, some of you should know what Meghan did, because I posted on my community board. Meghan and Harry are effing brilliant. On Monday, 2 representatives from the U.S. consulate in, how do you pronounce it, Cebu or Cebu? Right, the city in the Philippines that Mr. Markle's moved to in January of this year, turned up in Mr. Markle's hospital room. Consular agent Glenn Ivan Loop said the U.S. Embassy in the Philippines capital city of Manila had requested they visit Mr. Markle but declined to give further details. He asked Mr. Markle to make a list of people he authorized to receive health and well-being updates from the U.S. Embassy. Mr. Loop confirmed he was a big fan of the TV show Suit, which Mr. Markle's daughter Meghan starred in before she married Prince Harry. Okay, the Daily Mail wanted Meghan to communicate with them so bad. Probably took all of Tom Sr.'s devices waiting for her. This shit not normal for a media outlet to act like a legal guardian of an elderly man and using his plight to bait their real target. Where is the code of ethics? There's a tweet that I came across. It's on the list. Actually, I'm looking at it because I flagged it, so I know. There's a possibility, I think, she might raise a legal aspect of things, but I don't think Meghan really want to go to court, but maybe making things and put things in order, similar to when Harry and Meghan were leaving the UK. Harry and Meghan wanted things to be done in a proper way.
So in conclusion, if you'd had the support, you'd still be there.
Without question.
Yeah.
I'm sad that
that what's happened has happened, but I know, and I'm comfortable knowing that we did everything that we could to make it work, and we did everything on the exit process the way that it should have been
with
done.
as much respect.
With as much
and
respect.
Oh my God, we just did everything we could to protect them.
So if push come to shove, now I'm talking about Meghan's father, if push come to shove, things had to be legally, it turns into a legal issue where there will be a documentation of things. So now my question is, what are the legal things, and what was the Philippines to visit, your loved one in a hospital? Let me go search that. Alright, so I asked, I don't know if this is the right way of asking Google, what are the legal rules in the Philippines when visiting a family member in the hospital? In the Philippines, visiting family in the hospital involves following specific hospital rules, not broad national laws, focusing on patient risk and infection control, with common guidelines including strict visiting hours, often split, limited visitors, 2 at a time, no young children under 7, mandatory IDs, vaccination proof, especially post-COVID, no perfume, and the common practice of the designated watcher for patient care, though hospitals prefer minimal visitors. Okay. So, okay, you could go on Google and ask. I'll leave this on the screen while I'm talking. You could pause. So I think she's creating a legal path. If push come to shove, there will be documentation where she could go to court and also alert the hospital to not mess with my father. Don't just let anybody come in. Like I said in past video, that was before all of this came, that she sent people from the consulate and in the Philippines to check on her dad. But one of the things that I said is that her conscience, all right, whatever she did or whatever tweet that I was reading, and my first thought is to heal her conscience. I didn't put it like that, because you don't want later on, if something goes, if it was true, and you feel bad that you didn't do anything. So for her, because of her position, and she is a mother to 2 young children, okay, Thomas Markle already lived his life to the fullest. But those 2 children that are starting their lives, Meghan needs to be around for them. She cannot just hop on a plane and just expose herself when we already know there's harm at way with the daddy fell all over her father and all that. She cannot just expose herself. But for her conscience to be at peace, she did the best thing that she knows how. Okay? So by doing what she did, the way that she did, is to start documentation, putting the hospital where her father is under alert if something were to happen. Okay? And now the hospital will be in jeopardy of being sued. Okay? That's what I think. Alright? And when I brought up when Harry and Meghan were leaving the UK, and I think, where did he say it? I think it was the Oprah interview where they wanted to do it the right way and things like that. And we see throughout, since they left the UK, things have been systematic. Step 1, step 2. You see how things is happening because they did it the right way. But the UK wanted to mess things up so, they could come out with their narrative that, something may vary or something. Recollection may vary. But Harry and Meghan wanted to put things in perspective and said, this is what happened. There's no confusion here. So this is what I think is happening here. Documenting, letting people know in the hospital on alert, do not let anybody come and visit my father. Now, if the father, they discharge him and he's at his home, he could do whatever he wants. Alright, and this is why she had to do it when she contacted the father is via email, because there's law attached to that. And the papers, due to her experience with the papers, printing her content on a newspaper, she called them to court and won. So she did the next best thing. Do it via email. Now, if they try to print the content of her email, she could sue again. So she's playing the game in a much smarter way with these people. Alright, did I finish with it? Yeah, I think I Mr. Luke confirmed via TV. Okay, yes I did. Okay, the Daily Mail wanted Meghan to communicate with them so bad, probably took all of Tom Sr.'s devices waiting for her. This shit not normal for a media outlet to act like a legal guardian of an elderly man and using his plight to bait their real target. Where is the code of ethics? And this is the thing Harry have been saying with these people. That's how they behave in the UK. And they get away with it. Meghan worked at the US Embassy in Buenos Aires. Now that's the kind of move I fully expect. Who the F did they think they were dealing with? She outplayed them every time. She stayed 10 steps ahead, and I love it. Smart, smart, smart. Daily Mail has failed once again. Oh my goodness. They tagged Daily Mail. The Daily Mail and Graham, could they have been manipulating Thomas Markle Sr.? Is they systematically brainwashed? For what purpose exactly? And when will the UK government speak up? And when will the UK journalists get up and stand up and be counted for integrity? Sage, can you confirm where this piece is from? It's delicious. I want to read it. Okay, I want to read more. There's one response here. Okay, it doesn't say. Whatever is here, that's it. You know Mr. Markle loved the visit from the government official. He wants to feel important and they are doing it from afar. He's such a baby. The Sussexes are moving like 3D chess masters. I love it. Caroline Graham wrote that article for the Daily Mail so Meghan knows the tabloid are set by his side and will report anything Meghan related. Checkmate. Princess Diana will be proud. Yeah, that's the thing Princess Diana did not have when she was alive. Because, can you imagine all of these people against her, one woman? And then they label her as being crazy. And then you have the oldest son catch up on that and calling her the same thing. LOL, people need to have a faith in Meghan. She is smart and I would have acted the same way. But I thought she would have sent someone of their Archewell staff. We don't know. She knows the rules that apply when working in the embassy. So that all of this help as well. I mean, I don't know if I would have thought of that. I don't think so. But I probably, like she said in that comment, probably will fly somebody over there to go look at, to report for me. But by doing it this way is the smart way. Okay, my girl is always one step ahead. Checkmate, masterclass. Okay, that's an ad. Let's pause that GIF. Yes, she is. That was Olivia Pope move and I love it. What if I told you I'm a mastermind? Alright, that's what I've been trying to tell these people. Did you have to use mic? And the thing is that when we pray, I mean, I'm not saying it's all my prayers, but I hope it helps. Some of the prayers, sometimes I said, for God to protect them and clear the path for them. And I don't know whether it probably helped in some shape or form for her to have clear mind and conscience to do the things that she needs to do, because all those evil people around her, not around her, who's trying to get to her, my goodness, she needs God protection. Alright, next tweet. When Meghan made it clear the only communication is through email, he miraculously became better. Daily fell once again. And just like that, Tom and Jerry and dying no more. I'll get to that. Let me read some of the response here. A real hallelujah moment. Look at this deadbeat. He looks happy and healthy to me. Thomas Markle is taking the piss. It doesn't look like he's seriously unwell. Drama queen. The man had surgery. And the visit from US Embassy official in Manila at the request of Meghan. I believe she is a clever girl. Alright, let's go into that. And just like that, Tom and Jerry and dying no more. Let's see here. Thomas Markle is out of intensive care as his surgeon says his leg amputation was a success. I'm thinking of the image the squad put, different level of the leg that they cut. Alright, December 8th. That was yesterday. Meghan Markle's estranged father was last night moved from the intensive care unit into a regular hospital room. Mr. Markle, 81, who had his left leg amputated below the knee last Wednesday, has pleased doctors and the Philippines with his recovery. Okay, Thomas Markle is out of intensive care. The Daily Mail can reveal the 81-year-old is pictured here with surgeon Dr. Neil Senico, who operated to remove his left leg below the knee. But doesn't the father, the half-brother, have been to the Philippines? Where are they? Why are they leaving everything to Meghan? Oh my God. Me, I still see the cut-off leg. This will be the next series of photos and articles. Well, they know where he works now, so they know the hospital. Shaking my head, there's that. And they want people to believe this man is in critical condition while he's working to pay off his deal with the Daily Fair. It's unfortunate that coward dies many times before their actual death. Let me get this straight. A patient just closes a body part and the surgeon is giving a thumbs up while the said patient lies in bed with a big smile. Yeah. And we're to believe this is a completely normal. Alright, let's get to the next tweet. Alright, however difficult it may be, the fact that Meghan team quickly set the record straight has already resulting in putting the Mail in defensive mode. They know that behavior exploiting and weaponize someone in intensive care is indefensible. And B, Thomas Markle, still a bad dad, awful person. Okay, DMG Media, which owns the Mail on Sunday, said Mr. Markle does not have an active email address, but his phone number, which the Duchess of Sussex has previously used for him, remain unchanged. Any suggestion we have puppeteered Mr. Markle is entirely false and strongly denies. That woman, I don't know, that been taking pictures with Thomas Markle, if she's around him and reporting all sort of things, if push comes to shove, she might be in legal jeopardy. Some people say maybe she's writing a book or things like that. But if something happened, she might be in legal jeopardy. The money he makes out of the book will go paying for her legal. Okay, literally everyone has an active email. He has an active YouTube channel, and you want us to believe he doesn't have an email address. They seem very desperate for Meghan to call Thomas Markle, dropping hints that she knows his number. I'm telling you, they act like children. They're trying to play psychological things, reverse psychology on people, but these are childish kind of mindset kind of thing. A less cynical person might think this has nothing to do with recording equipment being at the ready to intercept the call or anything. The fact that they also intimately involved, that they know he doesn't have an active email, which I don't believe, and they are speaking for him, proves that they are acting extremely unethically. Alright, the Fair is telling everyone the wag has access to bad dad's phone. Where can I record the phone conversation or get a hold of the text? Do they and Carol Graham want another lawsuit? I'm telling you, that's what they're looking for. And I have been thinking this, what the Sussex team wanted, for the Daily Mail to out themselves, and like idiots they did. Even the halfling had to shout. They still want her to call him deadbeat father has played his last card. Next tweet, and this is the one that I bookmarked or flagged. There might be something about that. I think it's a long conversation. Alright, let's see here. I think I put this on my community board. What exactly is the relationship between Thomas Markle and the Daily Mail and Mail on Sunday? Because from where the rest of us are sitting, it looks less like journalism and more like a pay pipeline where a man sells access to his pain and his daughter's name to a tabloid that already been sued and defeated by that same daughter. This last stunt makes it even clearer. Thomas Markle texted a Daily Mail reporter about his leg amputation before telling his own children. Not his son, not his daughter, not his caregiver, a reporter. Why? Why is a man allegedly too sick to function still giving exclusive play-by-play to the same outlet that has spent years attacking his daughter? Why is a Daily Mail journalist receiving private medical updates before his family? Why is a tabloid being treated like his emergency contact? So let's ask directly. Is there a financial agreement between Thomas Markle and the Daily Mail on Sunday? Is he being paid for these interviews, photos, text messages, and hospital bed exclusives? And this is ridiculous. But it's true though. I'm shaking my head thinking the person is not even in well-minded, okay, in the hospital to be asking questions. And if he is, why does the public not know about it? How can any reader trust news coverage that depends financially on a father selling out his daughter on demand if the only time he becomes relevant is when the story harms Meghan Sussex? Then readers should be asking themselves whether they're consuming news or manufacturing narrative funded by the exploitation of a family rift. And this is the route that I think Meghan is going by. They're exploiting him, especially in a hospital. Daily Mail readers, wake up. You're not being informed. You're being sold a story. And the people writing it are doing everything they can to keep you from asking this question. Daily Mail UK and Mail Online, Mail on Sunday, care to clarify? Since your reporter is out here getting medical updates before the men's own children, what exactly is this arrangement? Transparency shouldn't be optional. Okay, so there's more here. She retweeted that. In Thomas Markle's hospital bed interview with the Mail on Sunday, one detail jumped out. He told a journalist that he was having his lower leg amputated before telling either his daughter, Samantha, or his son, Thomas Markle Jr. The Mail's Caroline Graham writes that she got a text message from Meghan's estranged dad. Why can't they say Thomas Markle? They have to make sure to put Meghan's. Oh my God, Meghan's dad. Reading going to lose the leg today. Graham said that when she contacted Tom Jr., his father's primary carer, who lives with him in the Philippines. That's what I was saying. I didn't even know the half-brother live in the Philippines. I've seen picture of him. They claim he was in the Philippines. And I was like, where is he? Why can't he go and do what they're asking Meghan to do for the father? So he's living with him. So it's like when there's problem, everybody remove themselves from the situation and then just bring Meghan into it. Oh my God. Okay, his father's primary carer, who lives with him in the Philippines, and his other daughter, Samantha, with the news, both were flabbergasted. He had chosen to break the news of the amputation to me before his own family. What is going on here? Since before May 19, 2018, in my humble opinion, unethical. This is not journalism. Thomas Markle Sr. is now 81 years old plus. Graham has been telling him since 2018, a private citizen, and worse, she was there when the so-called heart issue happened and September earthquake and foot removal. It would be interesting to know who is paying his medical bills, seeing as there is no NHS in the Philippines. Just like he went to TMZ first to tell them he was too sick to attend his daughter's wedding after the programs had already been printed. Here's a piece of this, that. He's not being played. He's playing alone in a hate economy aimed at his daughter. So disgusting. In a way, yes, but it's very sad he doesn't see if, stop playing with the papers where he could be in a better position with his daughter. But he burned that bridge. I don't think Meghan will ever trust him. Okay, whatever's on the screen. I already read that. I read that 100%. These facts are going unreported and it's crazy. Thank you for saying on top of it. Okay, Thomas Markle must be on the Daily Mail payroll. He is closer to that rag than he is to his own children. I thought he lived in Mexico. I guess he moved. Alright, next tweet. Now this is a video. Oh, I played that on my first video. And it was in the wrong column, but I put it here again. Oh, that's not it. It's the next one, I think. Okay, I don't normally post GB News because they're a joke entertainment channel. Having said that, they are so anti-Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, that it's eye-opening that its host here acknowledges Thomas Markle's toxicity and wrongdoing as a father. Also, once again, the guest reporter says that Thomas is trying to establish contact with Meghan only through Caroline Graham, Daily Mail, because money is involved. Wow. Okay, so let's listen 1 minute and 37 seconds.
So, Grant, I've been looking at this whole thing, and I said last night with Thomas Markle, he got himself into this situation with his daughter because he went and rigged some paparazzi shots for the Mail on Sunday ahead of the wedding. Remember the pictures, him getting sort of measured up for a suit and so on. You know, they were fixed. He organised those. I think he got some money for them because perhaps he was skint. But he's done it. He's done it again, Grant, with this situation in the hospital bed. Poor bloke. I've sent my best wishes to him for having his foot amputated. You know, what a nightmare. But
hearing him saying that, I don't know if there's any involvement with the entire UK media with what's going on with Thomas Markle. This is probably just telling them they're not part of it. That's the way that I see it. GB News is saying they're not part of it because they're starting to see the legal route that might happen. Okay? That's what I take from what this young man is saying. Okay? Let's continue.
the first thing he does is invites Caroline Graham from the Mail to his bedside for quotes and videos. And I just think, look, I'm not a big Meghan fan, but I just think, come on, Thomas Markle, have you not learned your lesson from last time?
I agree with you, Ben. I totally...
Not only Thomas Markle to not learn from that, Daily Mail, have they learned anything from what happened when Meghan sued them?
I agree with you. I think it's not wise what he's doing, because if you are genuinely wanting to fix this relationship with his daughter and he wants to show her that, you know, he's learned from the mistakes of the past, why would you then have a journalist come back in to see what he's up to, see what's happening, to report on it? Obviously there'll be money being exchanged for this as well. So again, it's kind of doing what he did before, and that's what's difficult for Meghan, because obviously she wants to reach out and contact him, but then she's also aware that when she does contact him, that those conversations could then be relayed, or will be relayed, to the journalist.
Also, there's a possibility if Meghan were to sue the people, the papers who's trying to manipulate her father, she could go in the route of elderly abuse, because he's 81 years old, and who knows the mental state of Thomas Markle. I'm not taking his side for the thing that he's doing, but the mental aspect of a elderly man who has one of his kids, I don't know, caretaker, the half brother. All right, so there's so many. It's like a fine line, because the half siblings are involved and things like that. The mental aspect of the father. It's okay if the half sibling is talking to the papers, but the father himself, the legal aspect of it, the papers abusing him to get information about his daughter. But the age, I'm wondering if there's some, okay, I'm not a lawyer, so I'm just questioning if there's an age that they can use for manipulating him. I don't know. Let's get back to the original recording. I was just thinking and sharing my thought with you anyway.
We'll all get to read about it, which is really difficult when this is at the end of the day, this is a private matter. This is a father and daughter. A father has had an operation. The daughter wants to reach out to the father to see if he's okay, or to see what she can do potentially, and it's not going to be a private matter because of what he's done.
Well, he's spot on. He is spot on. This is a private matter, but these people are making it public. The father himself, the half siblings are making it public and things like that. Okay, they say, give your enemy enough rope to hang themselves. Meghan's silence is outing Thomas as the greedy, manipulated liar that he is. At this stage, he's outplayed his hand because of greed, and now everyone is seeing his game. Meghan should continue to keep up her boundaries. Yeah, that was one thing. Everybody, well, not everybody, the majority of the squad were saying to stay away. Well, it's really about damn time. Some things is up. There's the thinking face here. Normally, royal rats can't wait to jump on this to bash Meghan, but except for the Daily Fair, royal rats are calling Thomas Markle out for his ties to the press and saying Meghan is valid for not contacting him and that this is a private matter. And the other thing is, the lawsuit that's coming up between Harry and Daily, I think it's Daily Mail. The thing is that they are running out of option. They know they are in the wrong, but they still want to fight. These people will never say, oh, I'm guilty. All right. So instead, if they know, just think of it. put yourself, I don't want you to go there, but make sure you get yourself out of it. If you put yourself in Daddy Phil's shoes, they have nothing to lose anymore. Okay, so they're gonna try to make as much money as possible, and if they could blackmail Harry to pull the lawsuit out, because they know what's dear to Harry. Okay, keep that in mind. If they know they are done with, they have no option, they can prove themselves they didn't do the phone hacking, knowing those 2 other lawsuits Harry have proved himself he won, where they had to settle. So if you have nothing to lose, what's one more bad thing? Just think of it that way. Okay, now get yourself out of Daddy Phil's shoes, because it's too toxic. Sometimes you have to think that way. When some people have nothing to lose, this is where you have to be afraid of them, because they don't give a shit. They don't care who gets in their way. And they've been at it that way for a very long time. So now it's only Harry who's keeping them accountable for their BS. So what's one more BS if they do? Just think of it that way. And it's very sad, okay? The father is playing along with them. I don't know if, okay, this is not to say I'm taking Thomas Markle's side, but the way these Daddy Phil behave is through tactic, manipulation, blackmail. What do they trying to scare the father of? All right, I don't know, but it may be just voluntarily he wants the money, and we are aware that they pay people to do interviews in the UK. Unlike the US, if they're interviewing people, it's not for money, it's voluntarily. Okay, I could look this up. Let me pause and go on Google. Okay, so this is what I wrote here. Okay, between the UK and the US. In journalism, does the US and the UK pay interviews? Okay, should I put interviewer? Okay. In mainstream US journalism, paying for interviews is generally unethical and forbidden by major outlets to maintain integrity, but sensationalism media sometimes pay sources. In the UK, it's more common, okay, there's that, especially in tabloids or for exclusive stories, checkbook journalism, though reputable sources still often avoided, with some UK broadcasters paying small fees for appearances, but legitimate news organizations frown upon paying for raw information. Okay, the United States mainstream media generally prohibit paying for interviews to prevent bias and source fabrication. And you could read more, but the United Kingdom, more common, paying for news and interviews is more prevalent, especially in tabloid and for major exclusive. You could ask the same question on Google and do this. Okay, so the US, they don't really do that. They don't do it because they're trying to maintain integrity. But the US have the UK have done it. I believe I have one video. Well, actually, they were talking about Thomas Markle to bring him, and they said they don't have enough money to pay him or something like that.
True, because remember, I know that was set up pack shots. But remember, he was filmed, the dad, getting measured for the suit, reading up about England. So if he wasn't invited, that doesn't even make sense. And I know the Paps set him up with that, but that was on the pretense that he was going to the wedding. So what she's saying doesn't add up.
Well, why don't we get her on next week? And for a rare interview.
I don't think we need to
We're not paying her $200 for an interview.
Alright, they say give your end. Okay, I read that. Well, it's really about them time. Something's up. Normally, royal vats can't wait to jump on this bash Meghan. Okay, I read this. Media station are turning against the Daddy Phil. That's what I'm saying. They removed themselves from this debacle because Harry and Meghan don't play with these people. Once you cross them, they have the court to call you. Media station are turning against the Daily Mail. The thing that gets me is that every one of these shows hosts defend her while saying, I don't like Meghan, but that is true. Or I don't like Meghan and Harry, but why do they need that to be on a record before they say anything remotely fair? It's like a job requirement. It's true. I agree. It is eye-opening and good to hear some fairness finally. But as the Squaddy said, there's also the fact that other UK media are mad that the Daily Fair has the exclusive on Thomas Markle Sr. and suspect they would be playing a different tune if Bad Dad had called them first. Alright, this is so unethical. The Daily Mail had just proven Prince Harry's justified lawsuit against them. The fact that, like I was saying, okay, they have nothing to lose. They want something to hold against him for him to remove the lawsuit. I don't know. There's probably going to be a lot going to be revealed in that lawsuit, because they know Harry will go all the way. Alright, the fact that Caroline Graham is at the helm of all this makes Sussex's case against the publication even more compelling. Alright, that man is going to die lonely and sad if he carry on this spot. Lots of women have married into the royal family. None of their fathers are being this evil. Well, this is something, you know what? I'm gonna stop. The next tweet that I'm gonna cover, because I'm already 30 something minutes. Okay, the next video I'm gonna start with this. Okay, still talking about channel news security. Okay, I had this on my last recording, but because it had to do with heavy security when I was talking about, what was I talking about? Something else. But anyway, I'll come back to this. That will be the next tweet that I'll be sharing in the next video, part 2. Alright, so stay tuned for part 2. So please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. Stay tuned for part 2.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life. You are all in this together, and if I may speak personally, we are all in this together, because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better.